Hello and welcome to another OuterPlane video. In this video I am going to be talking about one of the main parts about the gear system in this game, which is gear crafting, which is going to be done in Kate's workshop. Now the crafting actually has, it's quite straightforward. There's nothing really too much to it. Now you're not really going to be crafting anything until you have basically maxed out the Kate's workshop. Which I do not actually recommend working on it until you have maxed out your anti-particle generator and your expedition team, and then you can work on Kate's workshop, and then lastly you can do the supply module, because this thing is actually pretty useless. I haven't really found anything that is worthwhile. I've gotten a few 6-star gears, but they're like 2 million gold or like 1.6 million gold, and they're like the green Rarity, and it's just pretty not good stuff, really not good stuff. Anyways, so when it comes to gear crafting, when it comes to the armor crafting, you can actually choose the piece of armor that you want to craft, and you can choose not the Rarity, the star level. I think I said Rarity, I meant the star level. You're only going to be crafting the 6-star ones. Crafting anything earlier is actually going to be a waste of gold and a waste of material, because you're not really going to be using them. You're only going to be using the 5-star and 4-star ones like early on, like the first few weeks, and then you're only going to be using 6-star ones from there on out. When you're crafting your armor, you can choose, the piece, helmet, chest armor, gloves, boots, and then you can also choose the gear sets, right? So for armor, I already explained this in another video, the gear guide video. You should probably check it out before you check out this video. If you don't understand how the gear system works in this game, you should probably check out that video before you check this one out, because I'm not going to be talking about the gear system itself. I'm going to be talking about the gear crafting. So when you're crafting gear, the armor, you can choose the boss material or the boss sets that you will be crafting. So Chimera drops the most important sets in the game: the speed set and the crit damage set. The crit damage set is going to be on your striker. The speed set is going to be literally used on every single unit in the game. It can be used on literally every single unit in the game. Even your strikers, you can use speed set on. So you're going to be crafting it mainly for the speed set, and then crit damage drops are also going to be nice. And then the Tyrant is going to drop the HP, the life, defense, resilience, life steal. It's basically just tank stuff. Even on your tanks, I still recommend using the speed set, because you're only going to be using your tanks in mainly PvP, and they want to be fast. Leo wants to go first to do his invincibility buff. And then you have the Guardian, which is, this one is, I want to say pointless, completely pointless, because attack set you're only going to be using it early on, because you're going to get the attack set from the missions in the story, and you're going to get really nice attack sets, so you're going to be using it early on. Crit chance set, this one is completely pointless if you have Valentine or if you're using Noah, because they just increase their own crit rate by 50%, and you can just get the rest of the 50% from the substats. It's actually really easy to get crit rate in this game. It's like really easy. So this set is pointless. Evasion, effectiveness are also kind of pointless. These are the armor bosses, and these are the weapon/accessory bosses. I'm going to talk about them in a little bit, because I'm only going to be focusing on this one for now. So when it comes to your crafting, you can, as I said, pick the piece, and then you can craft using these drops that actually drop. I should probably talk about where you get these drops. You get the drops from the special request ecology study, right, which is the armor raid bosses. They're not really raid bosses, the armor bosses. This is Chimera, this is Tyrant, and this is the Guardian. And then these are the weapon/accessory bosses. This is Meteus, this is Glycis, and this is Dicril and Micril. So, when you're farming you can only get the legendary material from stage 8 onwards, which is going to drop 1. So I do not recommend farming this stage at all. And then you can farm stage 9 for 2 drops, stage 10 for 3 drops. Now, do not farm any stage early on until you were able to clear stage 10 once, and then you just want to sweep this stage over and over. You're not going to want to grind any earlier stages because you're actually going to be able to get all the gear that you want just from doing story and the missions, to the point of being able to clear stage 10. And then once you are able to clear stage 10, you're going to be wasting your stamina on stage 10 for a long time. Chimera is really easy, it's just not hard. So yeah, do not farm the earlier stages, it's a waste of stamina. Just put your stamina into story and try to do the missions and the other game modes. And then gear comes when you're able to do stage 10. Also, the armor/accessory bosses drop the same amounts. Stage 8 drops 1, 9 drops 2, 10 drops 3. Same thing, do not farm armor weapon stages until you're able to do 10. For now, Meteus is actually impossible to do 10 because the passive, his passive is actually bugged. So for now, I'm not even gonna bother trying to do the stage 10 for Meteus. So for crafting, you can see the rarity of the items. It's a 5% chance to get a legendary, 15% to get an epic, 30% to get a green, 50% to get the lowest rarity. So it's pretty high that you get the lowest rarity, and it's actually quite expensive. So the way behind that, right? The way to get over the low rarities is actually to use abrasives. You have epic abrasives, and then you have legendary abrasives. Now, you can only use the legendary and epic abrasives for armor, but there's an extra one abrasive that you can use on weapons or accessories that I will talk about when I get to them. But for the most part, you're going to be using your epic and your epic accessories actually. Your epic abrasives, because they increase the chance of crafting gear of epic quality by 30%. Now, what this does is actually takes from these two and puts it into the epic one. It doesn't take from the legendary one. So now you have a much higher chance of getting one of these two. The difference between epic and legendary armor is actually minuscule. So for the most part, for like a lot of the game, you're only going to be using epic armor, and it's going to be enough. You actually can get up to I've seen someone with a 40,000 cc Noah with only epic gear, but you need like really good substats and really high rolls on the substats. So I only recommend crafting gear or armor specifically if you're either going to be using the legendary guaranteed or you're going to be using the abrasives. Other than that, I do not recommend using the crafting system at all. And for the most part, you're going to be using the abrasives for the most part because they're pretty cheap. They don't increase the price. This is armor crafting, right? Piece set, abrasives. Actually, the legendary one increases it by 5%, right? So it goes up to 12% if you have a maxed out facility, but it goes up to 10% if you don't have a maxed out facility. It's not that good, actually, the legendary one. It's just more of a gamble. I don't know why it's actually more rare than the epic one. The epic one is actually much more value because it's much more consistent to get one of these two. And then you have, I should have mentioned this. You have the legendary guaranteed, which guarantees crafting a legendary equipment. Now it requires a lot more material and a lot more gold. Like I think it's like 6 times the gold. Let me go to the calculator. Let me see how much gold that is actually. In comparison, so 882, alright, divided by 147. Yeah, it's basically 6 times the price. It's like the equivalent of crafting gear 6 times, hoping to get a legendary one, but you only get, one piece and you have to gamble. You have a 25% of getting the right set. It's a gamble, but when you're crafting the Chimera one, you have a 50% chance of getting a speed set or a crit strike set, so it's actually not that bad of a gamble, in my opinion. So this is something that I would personally do, especially because I desperately need a crit damage, a good piece. So I might actually do this right now, but I'll leave that to the end of the video. So yeah, do not craft unless you are able to do abrasives or the legendary guaranteed one. Now let's move on to the actually armor/accessory. Weapon/accessories. It basically works the same. You have the same chances of getting, legendary, epic. You can use the same abrasives. But when you are crafting a legendary guaranteed, you actually can use an abrasive that makes you choose the substat. The secondary stat, I mean. Because armor has set main stats, you cannot change the main stats. Weapons and accessories have varying main stats. The sword is always going to have an attack, a flat attack, but I'm actually going to my inventory. But the secondary stats can actually be attack, HP. You know, this one has attack, this one has HP. I don't have an upgraded defense one. This one has defense, right? This one, the only 3 secondary stats that you can get on your sword: defense, attack percentage, HP percentage, all percentages, right? Your accessories, you can actually, if I go to accessories, right? Can I? Yeah, it doesn't really say main stat, but you can get every single main stat on your accessory, every single main stat in the game. Right, I don't have every single main stat, but you can basically get every single main stat in the game on your accessories. But the main stat that you get actually depends on the boss that you farm or you get the drops for, right? So Meteus actually, does it mention it anywhere? If I go to, yeah, I think it does, right. You get the, I think resilience, crit damage, HP, and I think this is accuracy, I think? I don't know. These are the substats that you can get from farming Meteus. And then if you go to Glycis, these are the substats. Oops. These are the substats you can get for farming Glycis. You can get the speed one, defense, I think crit chance, I think. And this is, I don't know what this is. It's useless, basically. So Meteus is, Glycis is going to be the one that drops speed, which is going to be what most people are going to be farming for. Dickreel and Micriel are going to be the ones dropping attack, this is not health. I think lifesteal. I don't know. I do not know. I do not know what that is. I think this is accuracy. I'm not really going to be grinding these guys for a while. Maybe some niche uses later on, but for now, I don't think they have much use. So you're going to be crafting. If you have the legendary guaranteed, and if you have the abrasive, for the weapon you can choose if you want attack, HP, or defense, and for the accessory you can choose the main stats of the specific boss that you are crafting the gear out of. Other than that, it's all pretty similar. Now, one thing about legendary armor and accessory is I will never recommend crafting a legendary guaranteed unless you have the abrasive, and even then, if you go to my inventory, I will go back to my inventory. I'll show you something that I crafted yesterday. I crafted this one yesterday. I wanted it for Noah, right? I wanted the crit damage for Noah. I did use my legendary abrasive to get this one, to choose crit damage. But then it's actually randomized what class you get it for. Can I choose the classes here? No. Legendary armor, legendary weapon is going to be tied to specific classes. Because legendary armor and accessories have passives, right? This is only for legendary armor and accessories, and they're only going to be tied to specific classes. This one is for striker. It's a 5-star one. Even though it's a 5-star one in legendary, the passive is nice, but this one is just not this one. This one is just infinitely better because look at the substats: 24% crit damage, 12 speed, 6% crit chance, much higher attack and attack percentage. So unless you're able to get a legendary weapon with the right substats, with the high substat rolls, with the right class, unless you get that, you're going to be using the epic weapons for a while. Also, if you want to break through a weapon, even though I have multiple legendary weapons, I cannot break through it because I need a legendary weapon with the same exact passive. And the same, it needs to be the same exact weapon. The substats do not matter. It needs to be the same exact passive, the same exact everything. The subclass, the class of the units that you can use it on, and then you want it to be the same passive as well. So breakthroughing your legendary gear is going to take you months. So this is why for a long while, your legendary weapons are going to be just superior. And accessories, they work the same way. They're only applied. Accessories are just more RNG because you can get any single main stat in the game. And, this one went to mages. I do not have, what's his face? I don't have any mage DPSs. Even if I had the guy, this guy, what's his name? Maxwell. I wouldn't use it on him because the substats are just horrible. So crafting legendary accessories is actually just a waste of gold and a waste of material. Because if you're crafting, if you go here, right? If I go here, and I go to Meteus, right? I would just rather do this this is gonna give me a higher chance of getting an epic one, and if I get an epic crit damage one, I can just use it on any unit that I want, right? If I get an epic HP percentage one, I can use it on my defenders, right? I have more chances of getting something useful instead of wasting 1,260,000 gold for just layers upon layers of RNG. Even with the abrasive that I actually choose, it's still gonna be layers upon layers of RNG. I think this is the gist of the crafting system. It's nothing too complicated. The video is 15 minutes. Surprisingly, I think I could have done it in a much shorter time. But yeah, actually, let me just do some crafting just to show you. I'm not gonna do the legend. I don't even have enough gold to do the legendary guarantee. I'm gonna use the abrasive on this because I still need the crit damage one. Accessory. Sorry, fuck. I almost fucked it. Accessory. Does it show you the substat? No, but you can check the substat from the boss menus. Let's craft. Hopefully it's an epic crit damage one with very good substats. You know, that's copium, but let's just hope for the best.
Striking the steel. Much better.
It has penetration. The substat is actually good, but it's penetration, which sucks. Yeah, and it also rolled the lowest possible speed that it can roll. It actually rolled the highest crit chance and then the lowest speed. Let me just do cancel. So yeah, we crafted one with the abrasive and we got an epic one. Let's actually craft... I wanted to craft a chest armor, legendary. Okay, I need to sell something. I can very quickly sell some... Let me just... No, do not dismantle. Sell. Sell 5-star... Yep. Oh, actually, 5-star epic. Let me just do 6-star and just do the superior ones. Yeah, this is more gold. All right. Yeah. Thank you. Let me go back to crafting. Let us craft a legendary chest piece and let us pray that it doesn't go to the accuracy or counterattack. Let's just pray. 50% chance.
Striking the steel. All right.
Wait, this is a max speed. Wait, this has some insane potential. The substats are horrible, but if you just want to go for highest speed possible, this is a really good piece. Reforge. Holy shit, I forgot how expensive reforging is. Let me just do it once, out of curiosity. Oh shit. Now I have 5 more chances of getting into speed. That's not bad. It's not a total loss, even though I'm not a PvP nerd, so it's actually not that good of a piece for me. I just want my Noah to hit as hard as possible in PvE. But it's not a useless piece. Maybe in the future I'll get into PvP. Anyways, that is it for Kate's Workshop. That is it for the gear system explanation video. I hope the video was informative. I hope it was helpful, and I will see you in the next video.